All right, welcome into another edition of the Tommy Mac podcast here on 1010XL's podcast platform. Happy New Year out there. Hope you're doing well. We got a lot to get into. Man, things happening fast around here now that the season's over. 1-15, your hometown team for the year 2020. Worst record in the history of the franchise. No more victories here. Don't give me that you're young. Miami's young. They went 10-6. The Rams are young. They're in the playoffs. I don't want to hear the young crap. Save it. Save it. Shad Khan makes a move. No more Doug Marrone. You know, look, I've met Doug a handful of times. He's always been a very nice guy, so I would never say anything bad about him. But as we all know, it's a production business, and the last 3 seasons haven't been good enough. Just plain and simple. I mean, you look at Anthony Lynn, who just got fired. 33-31 in 4 years. Went 12-4 2 seasons ago, and he's out. I mean, patient owner, I don't know. I think it's more of an absentee owner. However, Shad Khan comes out yesterday and says he's going to be more hands-on. He's going to be more involved in the process of talent, of who the coach is, who the general manager is, and all of that. Makes that statement yesterday to the media and to the fans. So, look, I think that's a good thing. The only thing I've really had against Shad Khan is the fact that he's been an absentee owner. And let me rephrase that. An absentee owner whose team is terrible. You can be an absentee owner, your team be awesome, then we don't care if you're around or not, right? Because you've picked the right people. You've picked the right football people. You picked the right GM. Whatever, the head coach, whatever the case may be. So I don't care if you're around, if you're winning, but when you're not winning and your team stinks and there's just no hope, yeah, you got to get more involved. And trust me, it's refreshing. And I'm one of these, just look, new year, new season, new slate, hit reset, let's go. I don't care about last year anymore. I don't even care about this season anymore. You guys stunk. You stunk up the joint. You made your moves. It's time to move on. It's a new era. It should be exciting. And I'll go through some candidates as well, for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, look, it is a sought-after job, and it should be. You've got a ton of capital in the cap space, $80 million roughly, $80 to $100 million in cap space. Of course, you can play with that a little bit. You got tons of draft capital. We all know that. A couple firsts, couple seconds next year, this year. They're loaded. I think they got 14 picks in the first 4 rounds, something like that. Crazy amount. Or maybe it's in the whole draft, but they're going to have their pick on a lot of guys coming out of college. Look, let me just run through the list, just who I think is still guys on this team that you can build around, okay? We need more. We know we need more. We need more at critical positions. That's where we really need it. That left tackle, that QB, that number 1 wideout, although I think DJ Shark is a superstar in the making. A pass rusher, a shutdown corner. We'll see if, CJ can make it back and be that. That's where they draft him to be. Look, we'll chalk up rookie season. That is, it's stunk too. Maybe we'll get a new defense in here that really plays to their strengths. That kid, all you heard out of Florida was he likes to press. Well, then press him. That's one thing I had never understood about Todd Wash with, like, Jalen Ramsey. Jalen was a pain in the butt. We all know that. He quit on his team. I understand that. But you know what? You should have had that kid pressing the number 1 wide receiver every single game. That's what I would have done. Hey, take him out. You're good enough. And look what he's doing. Now, granted, he's got, a lot more pieces to the puzzle with the Rams and their front 4 and all that. But nonetheless, look, if CJ can play press, then let's press his ass and get after that wide receiver. So, look, here's my list. You got to like Robinson. I know a lot of people are talking, he needs a new bat. We need another one. Okay, maybe. I don't care. The kid was phenomenal. I wish he could have played the last 2 games and really added on to that production. He was absolutely incredible, especially for an undrafted free agent. DJ Shark, I already mentioned. Laviska, definitely someone you can work around. I don't like our O-line. They're okay. It don't, whatever. I think you can upgrade. No, I know you can upgrade Cam Robinson. Nothing against Cam, solid player, but I need more. I need a great left tackle, not just a good one. And if you're going to bring in me a new QB, especially a rookie, that left tackle better be badass. A dominating left tackle. So, hey, look, first 2 picks, I hope they get a QB and an offensive lineman. That to me, I can, look, and they will draft another weapon or 2 or 3 for their new QB, but I like our weapons. Yeah, tight end, I'd like a faster tight end maybe, but I like our weapons. I think our wide receiving core is good enough, and I think a good quarterback will make them even better. So, whatever. My thoughts. Defensively now. Chason came on. Look, let's see what happens in year 2. Don't play him down. Play him up. I want to see him up. Devon Hamilton, to me, is a star in the making. You can build a defense around that guy. Keep him at the 3 technique. Keep him out of the nose. He's not a nose tackle. He's a menacing force. Think of Albert Hainsworth. Think of guys like that. Warren Sapp, although he's way bigger than Warren, on that 3 technique really can make a difference. Of course, Calais Campbell, we missed him this year for sure. But Devon Hamilton, I like Doug Costin. I think he's solid. You're still gonna, he's still gonna be in the rotation. Maybe not your starter. Excuse me. Miles Jack, we love him. Man, great job signing him. He cost you a fortune if he was a free agent this year. And Joe Schobert came out, right? So I think they're okay there. And then of course you got Josh Allen, who's got to come back even stronger. We need a better year out of him. I think if you had another defensive end, he would be more productive. Look, it's tough to go from the number 2 guy where you're not getting doubled to being the number 1 guy and always being doubled. And by the way, the guy on the other side of you, he's getting singled and he's not really getting the job done. That really hurts, right? Think of a year ago, Ngakoue had Josh Allen. Josh Allen had, right, nobody. I don't want to say nobody, but not enough. We need more. But with that being said, I think we've got a very a lot of upside with this team. I'd be excited. I've got a couple guys that I want to have a shot here, but let's do this. Here are the coach openings right now. You got the Jags, the Jets, the Chargers, the Texans, Atlanta, and Detroit. How would you rank them? San Diego, to me, is very exciting. I'm surprised they let Anthony Lynn go, to be honest with you. You got a quarterback in the making. He had a great rookie year. Now, what do I say about rookie QBs? That's great. But now you got to do it year 2 because what happens? They game plan. These defense coordinators, they'll find your weakness, they game plan against you, and you'll look ordinary. Look at, not all his fault, but look at Gardner Minshew this year. They figured him out. That, alley cat, sandlot, run around, make a throw. They figure that out, and then you become ordinary. So we'll see if Herbert can break through that, which I think he can. He really's got a lot of promise. Of course, Joey Bosa, defensive end, Keenan Allen, Derwin James. That's a group you can work with. And you're in San Diego, of course, the cost of living sucks, and taxes suck, and the state basically sucks. You come to Florida, you don't have a lot of that grief. But look, I would probably, I'm going to put Jags number 1. I'm not trying to be biased here, but I do think look, you're going to get the number 1 pick, or you got it. You've got the cap space. You got a ton of draft capital. You got enough guys. Brand new slate. You got an owner that wants to be involved. I'm going to rank them. I take the Chargers number 2. Probably Texans 3 because of Deshaun Watson. Throw Atlanta, Detroit, and the Jets in a bag. The Jets may be above it just because they're New York, and that'd be exciting, to win there. But I don't know, man. I got my Jags number 1, and then the Chargers number 2. So who do you? It's funny you hear in the media. I saw, was it on Dempsey's show here on 1010, who I'm with every Friday. I love doing it. We'll continue to do that. Where there was what's most important, the GM, the head coach, or the quarterback, the number 1 pick in the quarterback. And number 1 pick in the quarterback from you fans was the pick. The quarterback was number 1, and I get it. We need that. We haven't had that, but you need a good GM. You need a great GM. Like I said earlier, I think that pick is most important. And of course the head coach. They go together, right? They have to go together. That's these successful franchises, that's how they make it work. They might not always get along. They may not be best friends, but they know what this coach like. The GM knows what kind of players he's got to bring in for his coach to be successful. Does that make sense? It's not just talent. It's, okay, can that talent play at an extremely high level, his highest level that he can play at under this coach? That's a big part of putting a team together. People think, no, he'll adapt. No, people don't just adapt. They have to be motivated. They have to look. We've always all had those relationships where it's like, oh, this is great. I love it here. I love this group. I love this person. Or, man, they get me motivated. I want to do better. I want to. The competition's there. The pressure's there. Everything's there for me to be great. You know, we all want that, right? We all want that. And the GM and the head coach, they've got to have those kind of players. They have to. So whoever that is, you know, there's a lot of candidates out there. There is. I was doing some research earlier. You know, John Dorsey would be top of my list, one of my top. He did a great job with the Chiefs and the Browns out last year. I believe he might have been a consultant, but I like him. Of course, Pioli from New England. You got to maybe give him a run. You know, Indy's got a couple guys. Morocco Brown's one. Ed Dodds is the other. Ed was with Seattle. Look, at the end of the day, there's a guy from Philly, Ian Cunningham, that Terry Fontenot from the Saints. Again, if I'm Shad Khan, I am going to the most successful organizations in the National Football League. And I'm finding out who their stars are. There's always stars in the making, right? Might not be the GM, might not be the VP of operations, but it's a guy that's been a scout, moved up the ladder. He's director of college scouting, director of pro personnel, whatever it is. Go to the successful organizations, not the flash in the pants, the successful. Seattle, New Orleans, Green Bay. Green Bay is going to be tough to beat. It can be tough to beat. Green Bay, you know, Pittsburgh, New England. I'd give Cleveland a little bit. They're in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know how much juice I'd give them, but I would definitely take a look at you know, plucking somebody from there and then matching them with the coach. So, you know, it's going to be it's going to be an exciting offseason. I'm excited. Look, out with the old, in with the new. Let's rock and roll. Let's have a great time, and let's win some damn football games. A lot of coaching candidates out there. I'm gonna come right out and say no to Urban. I sit there. I don't like Urban Meyer. I don't really care for Urban Meyer. I think he's slippery. I wouldn't pay him $12 million. You're crazy. I wouldn't give him total control. He's never built an NFL roster. College, respectfully, I love college ball. I played it. I loved it. But it's not the NFL. And I don't care if you're Alabama. I don't care if you're it's not the NFL. So I'd rather have a guy that's had experience in the NFL, success in the NFL, whether it's as a head coach or a coordinator or what have you. Those are the guys I want ahead of Urban Meyer. That's just my opinion. You know, Urban, when I first saw that, you know what I thought of? And this is maybe not appropriate or right. I'm not saying I'm right here, but I thought, like, okay, that's such a splash name that'll help you get Lot J done. Crazy to think, and maybe I should separate it, okay, but that's the feeling I had. I was like, oh my gosh, if he goes after him, that's total, at least in my opinion, that's a puff piece. You know, Urban Meyer looked great at college, does fine on the TV, but I don't know, man. I'm not. He's not high on my list. I tell you who is high on my list. I like both coordinators from the Bills. Leslie Frazier, maybe a little biased. He was a great Chicago Bear, but he has done a phenomenal job. Buffalo's going to be a tough out. They're going to beat the Colts, I believe, but nonetheless, those two coordinators are good. Brian DeBoll, Dabble, however you pronounce his name, he's done a tremendous job with Josh Allen, their QB, who's phenomenal. They got great weapons. Whoever brought in Stephon Diggs, phenomenal move. But I like both of those. I don't want Jason Day from Ohio State either. Stay at Ohio State. Stay at Ohio State. You're doing a great job. That was a big win. Big win. Robert Salah from the 49ers. He's got some connections here. Was the linebacker coach here in Augusta Bradley. Done a great job out there. Players love him. I definitely got to give him an interview. Eric Bieniemy from the Chiefs. Has done a great job. Now, granted, they've done a great job bringing in the talent. Think of all the talent they have. Not only just Mahomes. Kelsey, the best tight end. Tyreek Hill, one of the top wide receivers. Sammy Watkins, another great. Hardiman, another great one. Their offensive line is bad. Fisher. Remember when it was Fisher and who? Jokel? Yeah, we took Jokel. Excuse me. Fisher's done a phenomenal job. He's a great left tackle. But here's one name that, and I'm sure people have already thought about, including you here on the program. Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh. And I got to hand it to a friend of mine who brought him up because, man, I didn't even think of Jim Harbaugh. Right? He's at Michigan. What the heck? And then he reminded me, well, remember in San Fran, I said, yeah, but him and San Fran had a falling out. There's a problem there. But nonetheless, he won at San Fran, won a Super Bowl, or took him to the Super Bowl. I don't think the Harbaugh Bowl, right? Yeah, they took him to the Super Bowl. What was that, 2014? So Jim Harbaugh would be, he's kind of prickly to me. He's kind of prickish, whatever that word is. But he's a winner. He's a winner. He hadn't won at Michigan. I think that's kind of whatever, again, a different game. But I would like to see him get an interview as well. So you got a lot of candidates. Look, at the end of the day, I like the fact that Shad Khan addressed this yesterday and just said, hey, I'm going to be more involved. This is one of my top businesses. I got to be more involved. And he's right. He's been, look, inside and out of that organization. I don't care what anybody else tells you. What I've heard is that he's an absentee owner and it gets problematic from time to time. Not anymore, it doesn't sound like, because he's going to be around, which is good. He needs to be involved in day-to-day operations. He needs to bring in people that he can trust, that share the same path as him. What kind of coach, what kind of GM, what kind of culture. Look, all due respect to Doug Marrone, his culture it flip-flopped. It was like, hey, we're tough, then we're soft, then we're, like how he coached his team. So, I want to see, look, I know today's athletes are different. It's okay. But the thing that they're common in is they all want to win, and they all want to look good winning, right? And I think you can, as a coach, you can come in, and you don't lose your principles. You don't lose, these are my principles of discipline, accountability, what have you. Not over the top stuff, but just look, you play poorly, you're going to hear about it. You don't have a good game, you're going to hear about it. You have a good game, you're going to hear about it, man. I'm going to give you so much adulation and recognition when you play well, but I'm also going to get on you when you don't. And if it's fair and honest and consistent, I think that works. And no matter what age we're talking about, and really what business, to be honest with you, but if we can have consistent accountability and rewards for great play, hey, man, who doesn't want that? Look, young guys, go after the Pro Bowls. Go after the money. Go after the incentives. By the way, do you like hearing all the incentives that players are making or were scheduled to make going into the year? I felt that a little intrusive. Kind of weird. Like, hey, so-and-so, if he has a sack today, he's going to get a $1.75 million bonus. Like, I don't know. People really need to understand or know that. Nonetheless, but go after all that. But it can't come before the team. The team's success has got to come first. And by the way, when your team succeeds, you get the national primetime games. You get the endorsements even more so. You get recognized. You're on the national shows. You're not the laughing stock. You're part of the elite. And that's what we have to get back here. Get into these playoffs. These playoffs are going to be fun. New Orleans will beat Chicago. Chicago stinks. They're way overrated. They shouldn't even be in, I don't think. Sorry, Bear fans. I like the Bears. The Seattle will beat the Rams. I tell you, watch. If you don't even care about either team, watch Metcalf versus Jalen Ramsey. I watched it last time. It was pretty special. That Jalen, he can really play football, man. And then Tampa's going to be how about Tom Brady? He stinks. Washed up, can't do nothing. Unbelievable. But I think Tampa beats Washington. Chase Young, you're a great player. I tell you what, I watched Washington game last Sunday night, not the whole thing. Did they throw it? I don't know. Who really gives a crap? It's over. Washington, they're in. And, we'll see what they can do. They got a strong defense. They do. That front four is pretty bad to the bone, but I think Tampa's going to take them out. I got the Bills beating the Colts. I got Pitt beating Cleveland. And I got the Titans beating the Ravens. Congratulations to Derrick Henry, 2,000 yards, man. Phenomenal. Only so many have done it. And look, we've got a running back here. Maybe we add another one. Just got to add more talent up front on O-line, D-line. Get that QB. Get him a weapon or two. Get some secondary. And we got a chance. And I tell you what, you should be excited, Jags fans. Whole new fresh start. Hit the reset button. Forget about 2020. And let's move on to 2021. I like the fact that Shad Khan has said he's taking a more hands-on approach, and I think that's a good thing. Y'all have a great day out there and a great week. We'll be back on Friday right after my appearance on Jaguars Today here on 1010 XL. You've been listening to the Tommy Mac Podcast right here on 1010 XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Have a great day.